Okay. Okay, no more days. I see. Yeah, in Taiwan, we don't have Easter holiday, but we have spring vacation. And the spring vacation go through different kinds of festivals. Yeah, can anybody share? You know, you all had holidays 2 weeks ago, right? So what are the festivals that you know in Taiwan? What are the festivals that why we are having a like 5 days vacation? Yeah, 清明节, how do we say that in English? How do we say 清明节 in English? How do we say 清明节 in English? Yeah, it is called Tomb Sweeping Day. Yeah, because they people worship their ancestors, and then they visit their tombs and they try to clean up, you know, all the tombs. And then what happened in Taichung? I don't know if you know this. Yeah, during the Tomb Sweeping Festival, what will happen? What will happen in Taichung or in many places in Thailand? Yes. Yeah, tomb sweeping, right? And then, yeah, and also you worship. And what else will you do? You eat a lot of stuff. And what will you do when you are in the mountain worshiping your ancestors? Maybe something negative taking place because of that. You know, there's news in Korea. It's very similar tradition like Taiwan. You know, because when you are worshiping your ancestors, sometimes we just give the money paper, you know, the Joseph paper, and then some of them they will burn. You know, yeah, they burn the money, paper money, or maybe they just try to clean up all the grass, and so something will happen. And then most of the teams in Taiwan, they are in a hill. You know, not in the very high mountain, but usually you will see a lot of them just on a hill. When you take the bus from our school to Taichung City, you will notice some teams on the side. And then for Hakka people, another group, not Hokkien, there's another group called Hakka. They have a very delicate and beautiful tunes. It's important because it represents all their family. So they will make and build very beautiful tunes, and but they will have a better facility. So in Hakka culture, there's no fire because of that. But for most of the Hokkien people, you know, Han people, they burn those paper in the mountain, and sometimes they call it fire. And so even during the vacation, and most busy group people are those fire fighters. Yeah, they have to go and then to find all the places in order to avoid those fire in the mountain. And the case happening in Korea just like that, because one of the person he just burned something in on a hill, and then it caused a big fire for 5 days. So it was a big loss, for that. Okay, so yeah, we don't have Easter, but because our spring vacation takes place very close to those days, and that's why people are saying Happy Easter to everyone, and then we are happy because we also have our own vacation. It's not because Easter holiday; it's because our spring vacation. And spring vacation, the April 5th is our June sleeping day. But before that, we have April 1st, that is the Fool's Day, and sometimes we don't have holiday. But on April 4th, we have the Children's Day. Do you have Children's Day in your country? Yeah, okay, so that is a very popular festival. And so April Day is also a holiday, so it comes along with April 5th. And then yeah, most of the Taiwan people, like us, we will take them as our spring vacation. All right, and so today our topic is talking about taboos. And so I just asked you before we start our class, that every one of you talk about one of the taboos that you know. It's not necessarily the taboos in Taiwan, it could be taboos in your country or any taboos that you so we already okay, yeah. 就是他们会哪里会？那是谁？In Malaysia. 对。Okay, when they eat, they use their right hand. Okay, and the left hand is to wash the food. Yeah. Okay. So everything, when they meet people, they must shake hands with their right hand. Okay. So it's taboo in Malaysia if you want to shake hands with your left hand. Okay, remember that. They will regard it's not clean. But even though at least in the past, but right now I don't think they do that. Any more? 等一下再 share. Okay, let's take turns. Go quickly, please.
In Taiwan, we don't send the gift as white flower or cup,
Okay.
or a shoe or umbrella, because it's the monochronic to the Chinese we call that or
Okay.
that or leaf.
Okay, so we don't send gifts like umbrella to a friend because it represents dismiss, saying goodbye. So umbrella for some believers in Taiwan is not a good gift. But later I will tell you another side about umbrella. All right. Okay.
作为第一题，我们大部分的
你先用英文，然后讲英文。
大部分楼层没有4楼。
Okay, most of the buildings in Taiwan, they don't have fourth floor.
它地上的东西很乱捡。
And then if you see something on the ground, don't always pick them up. It's forbidden. And I believe you all understand why no fourth floor, right? Do you know? Why we don't have fourth floor? Because the sound of four, similar to that. And so that's why no fourth floor. Yeah, in our school, we still have many. All the buildings they got fourth floor. And even in many of the houses that if you are selling, if they are not hotels or they are not hospitals, they still have the fourth floor. And usually you can, if you want to buy a house, you can get a better price if it's located on the fourth floor. Okay, so if you are not, believe in that kind of superstition, and then you can get a very good deal in order to get the house on the fourth floor. And then people in the back. Thanks.
Well, it's not especially in Spain, but especially mental health problems. People don't talk too much about it, and also don't say they go to therapy, and
So they just don't share.
they need help, but they don't want to say that they need help because it's really bad to say you go to therapy. Not now, but in the past it was like this.
Okay, in the past they don't talk about they go for this therapy. They don't want people to know. Yes.
The first one would be do not ask people's salary.
Oh, don't ask people's salary. Okay, it's a taboo, right?
Yeah, because I know that in the Netherlands they're not more open, but they don't really care emotionally if it's a problem. So they would be more direct and be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, what's your salary?" And
Yeah.
that's fine. And in Belgium we have 3 different linguistic communities, so do not make a mistake by speaking French in the northern part or speaking Dutch in the south.
Oh, okay.
Because they don't necessarily like each other.
Okay. Yeah, it's just like before when you go to the mountains and then you know those elders, they can speak Japanese, but you will try not to show that you know the language. Yeah, because in the past it was a taboo, okay, during the KMT's rule by that time in Taiwan as well. Yeah, so some dialect are not allowed. Yeah. Or you don't want to tell people that you know, learn the language before.
In Estonia, we have a lot of taboos because we have a lot of folklore stories, and a lot of them are connected with drinking alcohol. So, for example, if you cheers with someone, you have to do the beat the eyes, otherwise it's like disrespectful, or you kind of like you'll get bad luck. You cannot also put the shot glass on the table before drinking, and so on. So
Thank you very much. So it's very understandable. Yeah, some of the taboo, they're just the ways to take you out, or they either try to teach you to go for the right direction.
And I was thinking that then girls do not use the white hair bond, like to hide the hair because we think in the past there is a family member night or they go to the fields and we will put a white flower or something in the hair. And so if I use a white hair gun and without the any baby buttons on it, my family or my grandma will tell me to not do that.
Yeah. Sometimes we think the white accessories, they are beautiful, but it's forbidden. Yeah. Okay. Not in front of the elders, but for the young people, I think it will be fun. Yeah.
I think in Germany are a bit similar, very different to California. We have the saying like you don't talk about money, like in general how much something costs or salary. It's an insane topic in Germany, but I think it gets a bit more open today because, for example, even my situation, because I have to like guess the entrance salary.
Yeah.
So I have to ask my colleagues, right, what can I expect? And it's always like pretty difficult to like find out who you can actually ask and who is like changing the topic directly.
Yeah.
And the meaning for us when cheering is different maybe than Estonia, or maybe you just don't want to tell it. In Germany, it means you have 7 years of bad intercourse, so you don't have a good love life when you don't look in somebody's eyes.
Okay. 7. Yeah.
Yeah, 7 years.
In Taiwan, we have a lot of idioms or slangs. They also mention about in 7 years something. It's like another generation already.
And one thing that really makes me too a bit uncomfortable, because I think many people don't know, is here in Taiwan, many people, when they hear I'm from Germany, they do like the Hitler greeting or like sing the song of the past. And this is really a thing a German won't find funny. It's not funny at all. It's like it's a really sensible topic about the German history, because it's like really brutal, and I think everybody should know that this is like not funny. But especially in some Asian countries, I think they find it funny, but it's like always a weird situation to be in.
Sometimes funny, for some people, there's a kind of endurance label. Especially when you are thinking, I just make fun. A lot of people, they ask about salary before. But right now, if you want to get a good job or you want to know some information, it's necessary that you get to know what is the entrance of salary before you enter to a certain kind of career. Yeah, it's important. And in the past, Taiwan people, they love to ask about salaries because everything in their mind is about money. And so they want to know how much you earn in order to prove your worth. And it's really bad. But it happened before. A lot of people, they are very impolite.
Actually, in Germany, it's not everything about money right now. It's about the conditions and the benefits the company gives you.
Yes.
Because these are sometimes really difficult to get to.
Mm-hmm.
Because we don't focus on money only. There's about vacation days, about the possibility of a sabbatical, how do they treat like when you get pregnant? Maybe they have some corporate benefits because the competition within like the work cultures is really hard in Europe.
So every time when we travel and meet our partners in Europe, we really admire them because they have, when they are married, then yeah, that's another benefit to have babies.
You get 16%. I don't know whether you have the same here.
Yeah, use the microphone so people.
Because when you are a woman, or like I think as a man too, yeah, you can take up to 3 years of maturity leave, I think it's called, and then you get exactly maternity, and then you get 60% of your last salary. So it's really insane, but not the company pays that,
Yeah.
it's the government because they want us to make babies.
Yes. Yeah. And Taiwan is not possible. Never. Yeah, it won't happen.
So you have
Even though we like that a lot. We only have, like myself, we only have 6 days, 60 days, other days. And then after that, yeah, you can, 60 days
when
only.
you're pregnant afterwards.
After you give birth to the babies, you get 2 months maternity leave. And with the full pay. And after that, you can export the maternity leave without salary.
You know, in China, the baby's festival is spring festival.
Yeah.
But during this time, you can't have the haircut
Oh,
during this time, yeah,
okay.
because it means you're,
Mothers, they will be very happy. They can go out and travel.
yeah, and
Okay.
because it,
People will come and cut it.
yeah, if you cannot make have a haircut, that means your uncle will be there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if you do that during this time, then your uncle will argue with you that why do that. Yes, it's right. It's right. Yeah. Yes. It's I think it's I don't know how to say it, but it's really short.
Yeah, it's just the same.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
Everyone
always-
knows this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Except your uncle.
Well, we sometimes a lot of people they follow the lunar calendars for many things. And in lunar calendars, they show what you can do for the whole day. Later we can also check, and it's interesting.
And then you only can, have a haircut in the second day of the second lunar month.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
that in that day, many
Many people
just stand in line
yeah.
in the barbershop. Yeah.
Okay, so thank you. Okay.
Generally, when we raise, there is a race we call Malay. You cannot touch their forehead or their head because they think in their religions,
Listen.
yeah, they think the forehead and the head is the holy place. Only the God or the parents can touch them.
So Malay people, they are also believe in. Do they believe in certain kind of religion?
It's the biggest race in Malaysia.
Indonesia,
Yeah.
yeah. But they do not necessarily have the belief like in religion.
The religion, actually, the religion is
I know in Indonesia they have Catholics and Christian and what's that? And Muslim.
they're always Muslim.
Okay.
The
Yeah, that's why, the forehead and also the back of the head are decent and not touch. Men and women the same.
Yeah, and the women were wearing the
Yeah, the color.
yeah.
To cover the head. Yeah, it means that the head is important. How about the people online? Can you share something with us? Let me check. Noina. Nona. Are you able to turn on your microphone and say something? No one? What about
Can you
Luna?
can you repeat
You
the
want to
question?
try to say something?
Yeah, I don't really
I
heard
cannot
what
hear
you
you.
say. Hi.
Just a moment. Okay, can you try again?
Yeah, can you repeat because I don't really hear what you say?
Okay, we were talking about, the taboos that you know. So can you share some taboos that you know? It could be in your country or in Taiwan or somewhere you heard.
Um, a taboo that we have in France is to talk about money. We don't really talk about how much we can
Earn? Okay. Yeah,
win.
in France, it's also a taboo to ask people how much you earn. Okay. Yeah, thank you very much. Anyone else online want to share? Okay, maybe you are outside and it's not convenient. But anyway, let me share my slide with you. I don't know if you can see. Can you see my slide from your screen?
No.
No? Let me try. Just a moment. Can you see it now?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay, good. Yeah, so let me try. All right. There are several taboos, or we will say customs or traditions in Taiwan. Okay, and so during the time you were pregnant, there are some do's and don'ts, and there are numbers that some of you have already mentioned, like four, right? And for some professions, they might have different taboos, and marriage as well, and festivals, and giving gifts, and attending funerals. And we have the whole year that is the ghost month, and there's a lot of do and don'ts. And then, yeah, you can also ask some questions afterwards. All right, so during the time of the pregnancy, let me see, to do those. Yeah, I want you to discuss instead of me telling the reason, okay? So your group, can you get, it's very difficult to say. Well, for not using the scissors or nails, when you are pregnant, they think you might cause the flow of the baby. The baby will not be pure or healthy. Yeah, because you are having your nail cuts. But don't do that. And then nailing on the wall, yeah, that was a big taboo. And my parents, they followed that a lot. And then not attending the funeral, you know why? Pregnant woman should not attend the funeral.
Maybe it's a bad sign of miscarriage.
Yeah, yeah. Especially when people they died and then they believe there's a process for this person to really disappear from the earth. I believe you also heard a lot of stories saying that people, when they die, and then there's a kind of the underpass, they need to go through before they really say goodbye to the real life. And a lot of people, they say they must drink some kind of soup, and that is the way that you really say goodbye. You don't have any burdens, and then you are free to go. You don't have to worry about the people who are still alive. And so if you drink that, then you will forget everything happens in your life before you enter to another life after you die. Okay, so people think the ghosts, they exist because they haven't found the right place to say goodbye to the real life. And then those wandering around ghosts, they might find someone who is going to be born like a baby. And so, but another thing is that if you are having a baby, it's something good. But if people die, it's something bad. And so you don't want the two struggles, to come together. But usually it's only a taboo, and then it's just superstition in a way, because it doesn't really not necessary going that way. And then not going to the temples. Yeah, that is also interesting. A lot of people, before they get pregnant, they want to go to worship one God. Do you know what is the God? They're in Taoist temple, and either in Lugan, the temple that we visited, they have the Yue Xia Lao Ren. There's a God, his name is kind of the matchmakers. And then he's the old man, always bring a very good marriage to a couple. And so when you go there, ask for the marriage, then you can have that. And that is Yue Xia Lao Ren. And there's another God. I don't know if you know that. About birth. 什么神？什么娘娘？祝生娘娘。Okay. Yeah, there is another God who is giving the blessing for giving the baby to having the babies. Okay, for pregnancy. And so a lot of people that come to the temple, they will especially come to this small altar, and then they worship 祝生娘娘. And you just go there and hoping that you will have your offspring. Yeah, after you get married. Okay, so a lot of people do that. But once you are successfully having a baby, and then you do not go to the temple until the baby how do you say? Is born. Okay, until the baby is born. Then before that, you don't come to the temples. And then when actually you have the babies, then it's very natural for you to bring the baby to come into the temple again, and then to appreciate, your thankfulness to the gods. Okay, and what about this one? I think I shared this before, right? That do not eat crabs. Why? There's a Chinese, but I want to ask those people who don't recognize Chinese. Why we don't eat crabs when we are pregnant? You remember? We talked about that before. Yeah. What is the way that the crabs are walking? They walk this way, and they do not go straight. And so, they just hope that when you are having a baby, then they follow the right direction. Okay, they don't go to the wrong direction. They follow the rules, and then obey everything that the parents are saying. But I myself ate a lot, and crabs, because it's my favorite, and nothing happens. They are good, wonderful. And then people who were born in the year of tiger is not allowed to enter the room of pregnancy. Well, we haven't got a chance to talk about the Chinese zodiac. Yeah, it is an interesting topic. Have you joined the Chinese class, and then the teachers teach you the Chinese zodiac? Yeah, tiger is always, I think poor tiger, tiger doesn't make anything wrong, but we don't like tigers in all of our languages or in our own tradition. Yeah, tiger is not a good sign. So when we are having the low birth, and then the year of tiger has the lowest birth rate. And people, they don't want to have a tiger baby, but it's just superstition. And the reason is that there are a lot of taboos for a person who was born in the year of tiger. You cannot join all the happiness. And then even if you want to go to certain temples to join the festivals, they will say that, when you were born in the year of tiger, don't come to certain temple to worship certain gods. So it's very, very unfair. Yeah. And then haircut. Yeah, haircuts. Some people, when they want to make the time out the calligraphy pen, they will try to cut the best hair of a person that is from the baby. So, and the baby, they are 1 year old, and then if they grow very good hair, then they can always sell a very good price. All right, and the next one, food and drink. I don't know if some of them happened to you before. So before I continue, okay, I would like you to think of something that you know and then share your understanding. Okay, I believe you know about this one. You know about this one, right? Yeah, and what about the others? Can you share any that you know or you learned before about food and drink? What are the taboos that you know? Even in your country will be fine. What are the taboos in your country related to food and drink?
In Venezuela,
Food and drink.
I grew up very Latin American, and in Venezuela, it's not the children are not allowed to drink while eating because we have to be grateful of the food and the liquid fills up our stomach. So that all the people would say like, don't drink because we want you to eat.
Okay. Yeah. In Taiwan, if you go to Chinese medicine doctor, like my children, sometimes when they eat the Western, we cannot say Western in Chinese, but we say 中医西医, we have the Chinese medicine. And then like my children, one of them is very clear, apparently in favor of the Chinese medicine because it works. And another one, Chinese medicine doesn't change in anything. So either they are twins, but they visit different doctors for the same reason, for the same disease they have. And so, for example, when the Chinese doctor usually tell the child, my boy, saying that don't drink soup when you are eating, and don't drink water when you are eating. Okay, but you can eat or drink. You can, after you eat for maybe 10 minutes later, you are able to drink something. But just do not take them at the same time. Because in Taiwan, to accompany, for one table, it's always very nice to have 3 dishes together with 1 soup. And it's also in our tradition in our home. When we cook, we will also cook soup for them. But the doctor told one of my boys that don't do that, and so it's not bad, and his stomach get well. So it's very interesting. And my doctor also told me that, but I cannot endure eating without water or soup. Yeah, because the food in Taiwan dry, very dry. So you need soup, you need water, you need drink. Yes, and especially in the evening when you eat 臭豆腐, right? And you need beer, and so it's not healthy, but it's necessary. So my stomach is not good. Yeah, sorry to cut your.
That's the difference I noticed is like in Western countries, it's like the food goes to the mouth and you sit like straight. And
Oh yeah, don't do this.
they always go like very close to the plate, and it's considered like bad behavior in Western world. And even like eating with your mouth open or like burping is a no-no. No, burping is like a complete no-go at the table. And I saw that happening here quite often. And sometimes it catches us really off guard. I think Australians, when we hear like in restaurants, like even like not real restaurants, but yeah, here in Taiwan, I mean, when we eat somewhere and people will burp for sometimes or stuff, and for us it's like insane, like that people will do this in outside and public.
They are still close to you. Right?
Yeah.
It's very impolite. Yeah. Usually they should go to the toilet, or to try to keep away from the people if you feel uncomfortable. Thank you.
During the during you have the meal, you can't use the chopstick to plug into
Oh, yeah.
do that, and you can't use a finger like that. If someone this is like that, it's not possible. You can't do it. You can't do it. So, use the bread.
When, now, for children, I think it's very difficult. During the time they are learning how to use the chopsticks, it's very easy they point out to somebody. Usually they do this, and then they pointing someone. And the parents will always say, "What's this inside?" Okay.
Well, my parents will be
Oh, really?
use chopstick.
Here, the babies, they are the most important, right? Because we have a very, very low birth rate. And so if you say, no.
But it's the fast way to learn.
Interesting. So you learn very quickly.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Very
Right now I understand. Thank you. So don't point people when you are eating. In Malaysia?
When you eating your food with your chopstick, you cannot hit the bowl with the chopstick.
Oh yeah, don't hit.
Yeah, they will become
The baby.
or become the homeless.
Yeah. Do you also have that? Don't make the sound from your plate. Yeah. It's the sound like, oh, give me some food. Like,
In my family have any
no, so lucky. What about the first one? Who drops the chopstick on the floor will pay.
no yeah
That is the way to keep you, always be careful when you are eating. Don't drop your chopsticks. But right now it become a habit that if somebody drop them, people will say, "Oh, 你请客, you treat." It's a good excuse, Make somebody's chopstick on the ground and then, "Oh, you treat." No, just kidding.
maybe in my family if you eat together and then when you
Make the sound.
don't make the sound too loud.
Okay. But if something is very crispy, it is very difficult.
Oh, it's crispy is okay, but like
And when you drink soup, the noodles, people make sound.
oh yeah, my family
Okay, it's impolite.
is more like
It's the kind of etiquette.
yeah, and then if you eating together, usually with the older one, like your grandma, grandpa, don't do like like the squeezing.
Yes.
It's
Not allowed.
yeah, no. Yeah, if you want to, you can go outside. And then those, yeah.
So usually when you eat, just do not try to make strange sound or voices. That's the rule. Okay.
I think if we eat outside, in a public place, and we need to do not to sit formally, do not with your legs on the chair. Yeah. And or if we share a plant, a dishes, so do not use your chopstick to steer it. Just pick the one you want, and do not. If you do not like it, you can throw it away, but do not put it back or something like that.
So do you also follow that at home or only outside?
At home, I also, but because we are family, so it's free. Like if I don't want it, maybe I can give it to my brother.
Yeah, but usually the family parents try to teach their children when they are eating together. Yeah, show them what is the right way to do.
Yeah.
Right, next.
Yes, I think I was Germany, when you drink soup, you don't stir. When you're eating, you don't make a sound. You're not eating with your mouth open. We're big at the table right? The elbows on the table, but I feel like that's kind of everywhere. Don't put your elbows on the table when you're eating because that takes space.
Right.
And it looks informal.
Only in Taiwan, if you see the traditional film, they will show 老大, or maybe the most important guy was the businessman. usually want to show they are very rich, and yeah, they when they eat, they will be very exaggerate, show that I own everything, including eating. I own all the food. Right, so
For example, in Spain, we don't eat rice at night. Like there is something we eat like paella. Like we don't eat at night that late. Like and if you go to if you go outside to restaurants and see people that order these dish outside, you can see that they are foreigners because they eat at night.
okay. What about eating? Do you have the special taboos for eating fish? Remember the other day we were in the different truck and there's a fish there? Will you turn it back? Turn it to the other side? No. Okay. You just take out the bone, right? Yeah. So the right way to eat the fish in Taiwan as well. Yeah, we don't overturn the fish. One is because maybe the other side is oil, but basically it's just a habit. Yeah, just continue eat and then take away the bone, and then you can he say hi to you. And so yeah, but it's skillful. You know, some people they want to show that we are very skillful in eating fish, so we take out the bone, yeah, to the side. Yeah, your turn.
Yeah, for us as well, we're similar to other European countries, but also in Slovenia, I remember with the chopsticks,
Yeah.
if you drop cutlery, it means you will have guests. So, for example, if you drop a fork, it means you will have a female guest coming, or if you drop a knife, it will be a male guest.
Oh, okay, interesting. Only in your country, not
I
in
think so.
France.
No? Yeah, then it's
Okay. Good, good. I guess you just came in. We were talking about. You haven't shared. Yeah, we are sharing the taboos related to drink and eating. Don't put don't put your chopsticks on the rice like that. Because because they will think you are worshiping. You are cursing somebody to die, so you want to worship that person. So it's very impolite to do that. Okay.
Is it also a war declaration?
Pardon?
Was it also a war declaration? Because Japanese, they told me like this was in the past like nothing.
Oh, declaration. Oh,
Also.
it's not declaration at all. Yeah, it's very.
No, a declaration of
Oh, declaration of war. Oh, I think it's different. Declaration of war.
yeah, to declare war.
I understand. I think we can Google. When they declare the war, they have a special sign, but it's not. Yeah, it's not on the right. It's just showing. Some kind of form on the plate.
Oh,
For example, if this is the plate, when you finish your food, you put your chopstick like this,
okay.
showing that I'm done. Okay, I finished my food. But if you do this, and then it's a war. Yeah, that means we will have some kind of conflict. Disagreement. Yeah, this means disagreement. But this means I'm done. This is what I know, but not like that. That is, straightforward. On the right. Related to food and drink. Oh yeah.
Muslim do not consume
Yeah.
eat pork.
Oh. Yeah, we know that it's about religion. So it's a taboo. Don't make sound. Yeah. Sound right. Much. Oh no, you cannot do that. It's impolite. Yeah, very impolite. Yes. Okay. All right. So people in the back. So you always make this council nature. Now, do you have any taboos in your country related to food and drink?
I feel like Americans don't really care about food.
Only about polite,
I guess.
eating adequate,
There's no difference.
anything is fine. You can do everything when you're eating and drinking. No taboos.
Maybe
Okay, you cannot think of any, right? So nice. Everything is free. All right, but you can talk about numbers. Yeah, what are the numbers that you know?
for Americans.
Oh, yeah, aside from those, do you know anything about numbers? Are they favorite numbers for some people?
Oh, there's things called angel numbers. Angel numbers.
Angel numbers?
Angel numbers.
Angel numbers, that is,
Yeah, it's like it has different meanings, and it can be like luck or it's a bad omen.
okay, but do you still have 13, something like that?
I think people only think 13 is unlucky because of lucky or anything. Like 444 is lucky,
Oh, okay, 444 is lucky.
I think.
And 333.
I don't know.
You know, we have 555. Yeah, 555 is a brand of a smoke cigarette. 555. You don't know? My family own a grocery store, so I know all kinds of brands of cigarettes. Even though I don't like it, but yeah, it's very common in my home to see all that. And then I know all the price of each cigarette. Interesting. Right. That is my cigarette. I know, oh, that person is drinking a very expensive cigarette. I'm just kidding. Yeah, do you have anything that you know about numbers or taboos?
Like a melon, the 6, 8, if good numbers, right?
Yeah,
Like 666.
yeah.
6 means lucky.
Lucky.
Yeah, and 8 means be rich.
Yeah, rich.
Yeah. And we don't like 4 the same like because of the that thing. And
Yeah, even when you come to a restaurant and people ask you how many people you have, right? If you say 4, they will say, oh, 3 plus 1. Yeah, they don't reply to you. 3加1, 3加1.
I don't notice that.
Okay. And then if they want to play mahjong,
Yeah.
they usually say 3缺1. They won't say, oh, we have 4 people.
Oh, yeah.
我们有4人呢，we want 3加1刚好，3 plus 1.
Yeah.
So 4, not only about floors, but also when we are talking. Like we don't like to use the number.
111.
111
Yeah.
means
Angel number. Like
angel number
it's
111.
like whenever you use your phone and there's 111, you can like manifest. Like manifesting.
Okay, I thought 777. No. All the lucky numbers, 那个吃饺子老虎 one kind of machine. When you play, right? 777 is a very good number and money will come out.
Yeah, what I know is 111.
1111. Okay, number 1. Thank you.
I think most in Europe, 66 is the number of the level.
Yeah, so yes, universal good number, 666.
Then some things, Friday the 13th is the lucky number.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many countries do it. I feel like friends probably do it. But when it's like 10 past 10 or like 11 past 11,
Yeah.
and like you see it suddenly, you have to turn. Or like, it's done or
Yeah.
something. Well, it's just wish number.
So when did you do this?
Like when you see the number, like the time in your phone and it's the same number, this year.
Oh, you this year, this year.
Oh no, yeah, with nothing.
Oh, yeah, you agree, right?
And when it's like 10,
Oh,
Yeah, we put her.
I remember before when we are talking about something interesting and everybody are very happy about it, and then, yeah, people will do this. So this is something means clap your hands, similar idea. Similar idea?
yeah.
Okay.
Instead of this, we do this.
Oh, okay, yeah. Because this is no sound and this is sound. So stand style and then jump style. And what about friends? Do anybody knows? They are online. Later, share with us.
We don't have any specific number taboos, but we have, for example, odd and even number taboos. So, for example, if you go to a birthday party, you cannot give out even number of flowers because these are for funerals or like bad days. Someone goes to the hospital, you give them even number of flowers.
Even number of friends. Thank you. And do you know, we have the, do you keep your receipts? Electronic receipts. You keep receipts. You can get, some kind of, how do we say it? Yeah, in Taiwan, you can like, yeah. And so did you get any luck so far?
I don't know how to see it.
You have to wait 2 months, until you get anything. Every month I kind of get 200. Now my family. Really, yeah. So that will be with that, but also electronic one. Yeah, and then you keep the receipts and you wait until the 25th right now is April, right? Yeah, so May 25th, you have to wait until then.
Can I get a notification by then? Or how do I know?
It will tell you if you have the number in your cell phone, and then it will go directly to our company. And then if you keep the paper, the receipt paper, then you just check. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that is that too. Yeah, he also has it. So when the time comes, remember to double check. Sometimes you will have a surprise.
But if I show them like the barcode, I don't get the receipt.
No, yeah, but the number will go directly to your cell phone. And then it will know. Because we haven't announced yet. You have to wait until the time they announce the number, and then you will know if you get it or not. Yeah, so for the receipts like here, 会中 means you didn't win. Yeah, because you choose. Usually you got 200, and maybe you will have.
I always forget sometimes to show it.
It will just tell you directly.
That's good.
Yeah. 他没有中，他只有2票。Yeah. Yes. Yeah, he used. 他没中，会中。But wait until May 25th. Okay, to know if you remember the scan.
But I'm always wondering, are there people, when they buy something at a 7-Eleven, who will buy one item to get one code, and the second item to get another code, or is it forbidden?
It's okay, but you don't want to trouble those poor clerks. They are very busy already. And don't keep them too busy. But it happens that, I buy something and suddenly I want something else. And then after that, oh, sorry, I forgot the bag, so I got 3. But nothing happened. But it's just a very unusual case. People do not try to bother that much. But you can do that. It's not forbidden. It's okay. You can do that. Just like 10 kilos for free by bus. By bus, you got 10 kilos by free, and some people they get off and then they get on in order to get another 10 kilos for free.
It's possible.
In the past, it's possible, but right now, the government don't want you to do that too much. So I think some of the numbers they connect. But if you take the one from A side and then the other from the B side, then yeah, you got the separate cut. But if you take 300 something together, they continues. So people, they are very smart. Oh, it's been 10 kilos, so I get off and then I get another 10 kilos free. But it's only $10 dollars. Don't bother that much. Okay, but if you really care about, money, then yeah, sure. You can do anything you want to save money. It's your freedom. All right. You want to share anything? No more? Okay. All right, and then people that number 6 in Taiwan and also number 8. And then what's the purpose of having that? If you go out and see a lot of people drive expensive cars like Benz or BMW, okay? And people will think they are from wealthy people. And you can look carefully about the place number they have. They usually get the very good one, okay, because they want to show that they are very well. And then they are willing to buy those plates. Do you know the most expensive plates? How much it costs to get the plate with the good number? Let me Google. I have to give up the people online. Okay, those are the price. If your place number, if you buy a car, you always get the place number, right? And then usually they come randomly. You don't choose, you don't have the chance to get the number you want unless you are willing to pay. And a lot of people, they can buy a car that maybe costs more than 3 million. Then they wouldn't bother to pay the extra money to get the good number for their car plate. So BMW, they usually have a very, very expensive place number, and they will get from the government before the buyer comes and buy it. Okay, so the buyer will pay double of the money to get the car as well as the plates. So you can see the card number 88888. How much does it cost? 3 million. So if you have a very good card plate number, then you can sell the plates alone, 3 million dollars. And the rich people, they will buy that. And then if you have the card number called BBB, this one, and even this one, okay? This one is on this date, okay, 23rd, 2022, 2023. They have and then the plates cost 1 million dollars. So nice. And then they have to go through all kinds of audition. You do not just go and say, oh, I want this number, and then you just have it. You have to kind of compete with the others who come for the audition. And then our governments, they will have a time telling people that right now we have certain kind of the place number. If you want and you want to get it, you can join together for a certain day. And then people will just say, oh, maybe $20,000 and then 1 million. And then the one who made the best price will guess the number. Okay, so very interesting. And then either 1111 is also a good number. Okay, the card number. So everything is about money. I think those are very interesting about numbers. And what about patience? Patience. Okay, yeah, those are in Taiwan, but you can talk about in your country. Yeah, those are some customs very interesting. If you have certain profession, you might have the very interesting, habits, I would say. So people work in a hospital, they don't eat pineapple. And people in my office, they hate pineapple. Pineapple makes them too busy. If you come to our office, yeah, they make myself love pineapple very much. But sometimes if we get too busy or something, special case is happening every time, and then people will check in. What did you eat? Did you eat? Anyone eats pineapple the other day? Okay, because pineapple really make people prosperous, crazily, and so people in the hospital, when you go and see or want to visit some patients, you don't bring pineapple with them. Okay, it's a taboo. Yeah, it's real. Okay, in the hospital, but in some other business, it's a very good gift. You want to bring the prosperity to certain kind of business. And then flight attendants, they usually have turtle as a plate, as a pet. And I do not have a turtle, but I have another kind. It's called BA. Yeah, different. The back is not so hard. And then they say the turtle have the meaning about homecoming. So they will be sure after the travel they can come home. Okay, so they would like to keep the turtle as a pet. And then for the bus drivers, the bus drivers of the first bus of the day, they will honk, to escape the ghost. And so some stories like when people they enter the hotel, and before you get in, you will knock. Have you ever heard of that? My friend, they did that often. When they come to a new place, and then they want to make sure if I can come in or not, even though you have the key, but you still knock. You also knock before you come in. Okay, why do you do that? Why did you knock? Because maybe they have those local ghost inside. Okay. Yeah, so people really do that. Yeah. And my friend also do that. And then the other day, in our one of our office, we want to open the door in order to get something. And then 3 people went in order to get the door open. And then they cannot do that. They failed. So in the end, one of my staff members, in our office, she went and she knocked the door, and then he turned on the key and he opened. Nobody say why. For me, I think it's just a good luck, But because of that, and she just wrote the regulation saying that next time you want to come to that office, be sure to knock before you open the door. And many of my colleagues, they all agree. They think, oh, okay, we will remember. Because 3 people came and went, and they all tried, and they cannot open until the 4th person who knocked the door, and then they opened. Very interesting, but it happens. But basically, it's try to avoid or to expel the ghost. And then hair salon, they use the towel to cover the mirror, okay, in case they will have the ghost hide inside the mirror. And even for the bride and the groom as well, okay. When you are married, and then in the honeymoon, during the honeymoon, you do not the bride do not show the face to the mirror. You know why? They don't want to have 2 brides. Me and then the one in the mirror. Yeah, you can only have 1 bride, okay? So cover the mirror. Yeah, I think it's crazy, but some people believe that. So we call them superstition. Oh, yeah, here you have that. And then about marriage, I want you to share as well, okay, from your cousin. Do you have any taboos about marriage? Yeah, so each of you, please share. You have any taboos or special celebration? Something to do with marriage? Let me check if anybody raised their hands in here. No? Okay. Let us know if you have questions, all right? We can hear you. Okay.
In I have attended my sister's wedding, and at the wedding they said when the bride walk out, walk out the house, and her feet, the shoes cannot be with her, and he should like think, yeah, the carried out by her brothers, I think, and the shoes he wear should be bring back. Like it's my job. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like my sister walk, go to the car, that and I became.
Okay, and take care of the shoes.
Yeah, and her change she changed the another pair of shoes, and I should pick the shoes she wear
Mhm.
back to the house.
Okay.
Yeah, it means like to not let the age or scent go with her.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, you have to trouble clean.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't have the dirt. Yeah, on the shoe. Okay. Anybody else? Yeah. You know any taboos about marriage or getting married?
Married.
Taboos.
There are no taboos.
In the United States, no taboos. Taboos. All right, interesting. All right, next. No taboos about marriage.
I think when my brother married, but my big sister haven't married. So my brother need to give something my sister want.
Oh,
Yeah, like a gift.
it's required.
It's required. Okay.
You know, in my family, my younger sister, she got married the first. And so, yeah, I remember there were some rituals they need to go through because my elder brother was not married by that time. So I think when they choose the dates, they have to avoid something. I forgot, but I just remember the process for my younger sister's marriage was a long process. Yeah, just because she was the first to get married. But I don't recall. I was not young, but I was not too young, but my memory was not good by that time. I just think why it takes so long and why we have to do this and that. But I don't remember exactly what they did. But it's true that when the youngers, they are getting married first, there's some process need to go through in the family.
With Belgium, I don't really know. What I will say is that Belgium sexual couples or lesbian couples can get married to most Asian. But I don't know
Any of the special laws.
in Spain, after they get married and they go out of the church, and the guests they drove them rice
Oh,
to good luck and everything.
so wish good luck.
Yeah, same as Estonia. With the rice or grains or like coins.
Points next time.
Yeah. And we have a lot like in the after party as well. So we have like, for example, the mother-in-law has to like test the bride, and the father-in-law has to test the groom, and there's a lot of like jokes and games.
Okay, yeah, just have fun, right, for the wedding. And then people in the front. Your turn. Any taboos or anything you know from what I have here? You don't know. But you are from Taiwan, you must know any of them. 结婚很麻烦。
他没结过婚，所以我不知道。
Okay, come on, yeah, let's appreciate. She knows a lot of traditions. Yeah,
And what the bride have to
the bride,
the bride have to throw out
the fan,
yeah, and
you know fan? Yeah, to throw out. And why is that?
I don't know exactly the
那个扇子 you know the fan, the sound is 扇. So it means when you throw, then you are saying goodbye to your mothers. Yeah, your parents. You are going to marry, and then you live with your husband. In the old tradition. So they throw, yeah, the fan out, the cup. And yeah, and they pay attention to the lunar calendar. Okay, yeah. You have to make sure you are having the wedding on the right date. 集成粮食，良辰吉时。什么？ Oh, okay. During the wedding, when in your wedding card, you know, if you want to invite your friends to come, you always have to mention about the time 30 minutes early. Yeah, because the bride cannot always come the first. The guest should come first, and the bride and the groom will come the last. And so you don't want to keep the bride and groom waiting. So you will announce the marriage time 30 minutes early. Yeah, that's the rule. Oh, you cannot be the how do you say that? The bride mat or the groom's the mat too many times, or you will never get married. 要去接吗？
In Germany, especially on the village sides, there are many traditions. And one is Grenzen. It's like, I really had to look it up also because I just heard about it. And it's like really common on the village side. It's like the neighbors will do like, I don't know how to, it's a kranz. I don't know how to, it's like a special thing the neighborhood will do for the marriage pair.
Okay.
And then they will like have a little, they will drink much, and it's like a surprise for the person, so they won't know when it happens, just a few days before the marriage, and then they will like give them the kranz, and then they will have like much to drink, where they will drink really, really much at the garden or in their house. And when the marriage is, it's common to throw old porcelain, because in Germany we say like, the broken porcelain, it's for luck. So people will really throw a lot in front of it. And then a really weird tradition, I think, but I think many younger persons don't do this anymore, is to do an auction with the guests to sell, because the bride will wear like this weird ring around her leg. And then the males can auction to grab under the rock of the bride, or maybe eat some with the head, you know, to go under the rock. Yeah, and to get it.
Okay.
And
So
then,
maybe later if you can find the video, you can share it.
video.
No, this thing. You don't have to.
And what is
But
about-
it's a very interesting special rituals that they do during the wedding.
And I want to ask, is there like special tradition here in Taiwan for proposal?
Proposal. Well, it depends. I know in Japan, they have the confession. You know, they have to confess, I want to get married. Can I marry you? But in Taiwan, I think they follow that kind of tradition, so they will propose first. But we, in my generation, we don't have the propose process. No, you just kind of two couples, they just going very well, and then they talk about marriage, and then they just go back and see if the parents they will agree or not. And so during the proposal, it's not just two people. It will be a proposal from the guy to the bride's family, And so this person, if the guy needs to bring some of his family to come to the bride's family, and then to say that we want to have the marriage, and then the two families will become the relatives afterwards, and just formally talking about when and why and what is the way they want to do. So they will have this kind of meeting and discussion, communication. So that will be a very formal proposal.
But it's not like that the male has to ask for favor in advance with the father or something, like in some cultures.
Our culture in Taiwan, matchmaker is necessary. Even though if we met with each other and then, but when the boy wants to propose to the bride's family, then I will invite one person, the third person out of the family to be the matchmaker. Yeah. Matchmaker. Okay, just give myself as one experience. I met my husband, and then one day we think, it should be the time we get married, and then we will discuss when might be the good time, and then he or she, my husband will have to invite her family to come together to meet my parents. And then by that time, because those two people, the two families, they don't know each other. And then even though my parents have already known my husband because he was my boyfriend before we get married, but my parents didn't know his family at all. And therefore, they need to have one matchmaker to make sure that this person can introduce the two families and then to bring them together to become one family. So matchmaker is just like the bridge to introduce two different families to come together. Yeah.
And this is not the bride and not the spouse.
No.
The matchmaker is a
It's someone outside the family. Outside. I mean, the third
maybe a
party.
friend.
Yeah, a friend. Yeah.
And
In my example, that is, my husband and I, we get to know each other in the church. So both of us know one person that we all respect. So we invite her to become our matchmaker. Yeah, and because she's the one who knew about me and my husband, so she will be a good bridge to bring the two families together.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so that's the matchmaking. And then in some people who are in a very wealthy family, if one from maybe the one in Taipei, very famous, and the other one also very important in the business field. And then the husband side, the male side, has to find the right matchmaker who must be in the even higher position to be the matchmaker. Or they will be the same Zheng Hunyuan, the one who witness.
And the matchmaker will then ask the families
No, it's just prove that I know both of them, and then they will be good. They can get along very well. So you find one person who really knows both sides, and they can say something good, and then to prove to the two families that this is a good marriage. So that is the meaning for having this matchmaker. Yeah, it's not necessary because this one make them together, but yeah, you can do that afterwards. And in all tradition, it's necessary. But right now, in Taiwan, you only need the third person to prove that I become the witness to see both of you get married. So you can you can sign, and then you can have the license, from the household bureau. Right now, if they are adults, they can get married and they can decide if they find a third person to witness them. And then for that, they don't have to go through all the process.
I always thought in Asia it's one too, that the male has to ask the family first and then propose to the woman.
That is in Japan's culture. Yeah, Japanese movies always show that. I come to the bride's or the girl's side and ask the permission from the parents, saying that I will make sure to give a very good life, to your daughter. So yeah, just believe me. Yeah, that is a very special pose, yeah, from Japanese culture.
My concern, I think every wedding cakes and what was it, regular cakes will be double.
Oh.
Usually in Paris, that means both things comes in.
Yeah, everything in
Will
Paris.
be,
It's also in Taiwan. 是成双 good things they come together as a pair in a pair.
In my culture, after we pick up the bride
Yeah.
And go back to home, we will eat the, how to say, tangyuan.
Oh, yeah.
But we cannot chew it.
Mhm.
We need to swallow.
Swallow.
Yeah.
So you have to make a small ball of the tongue.
Not too small, it's very big, and
Wow.
we need to swallow. If you can't swallow it, you need to drink the soup or
Oh,
drink
okay.
the water.
So it's required to drink tangyuan.
Yeah.
Tangyuan.
Yeah,
Okay. During the marriage.
yeah, during the
And remember that the day we do the wedding in the indigenous tribe, it's always what they need to show, the men need to show their reverence and their energy. And so they have to carry the bride from their home and to the new home. And so in the past, sometimes they have to carry the bride for more than one day because it's from one mountain to the other.
台湾有彩礼，
台湾有什么
彩礼，
财力？
彩礼，
哦，聘金嫁妆有那个我们叫聘金。Yeah, the guy need to pay, not to pay, but to prove some of the fortune. Yeah, in order to get married. And then, for me as an example, my husband is not from a good, wealthy family. And then we are just ordinary grocery store family. So both of us, we all agree that instead of giving money, he has to prepare 12 different kind of good things to show his own willing. That it's not pinjin, but it's the same gift to the parent to prove that I'm good enough to get married with your daughter. So my husband prepared 12 different stuff. And the 12 stuff will include sugar, always something very nice. Sugar and a long life, what is that? 面怎么说 noodles, yeah, long life noodles. Yeah, always something symbolic to show the same meaning to the wealth, to the money.
So they don't need money.
我们还是有包红包 some red envelope inside. They have a little money, just the double of the number, like 20,000, and then 12 together, and it means that 12 好礼 12 very good gifts to prove that I'm very sincere and I'm good enough, to get married. 也是有聘礼，这不是聘礼。
会不会很贵？会。
以前有那个嫁妆一流车 ，the bride part need to bring all the belongings, including the blankets and some of the nails or the wrist accessories, everything good to come together as the gift to the groom. And sometimes both sides to show their own sincereness by providing a lot of fortune. And of course, for the big families, 一个人捐2万，一个人200万，2 millions from one side, and the other will say, "Oh, my daughter is so good, I will just provide 5 millions." So the couple together will get 7 millions. It depends on the household and depends on their own interest, but it's a process. And then the idea of pinjin or pinli, that is also part of the ritual, but it can be something symbolic, not necessarily money itself. But it's required. Good point. And then people in the back, you want to say something about marriage, some taboos and traditions? Oh, you already did. 全部都讲了吗？ You already spoke. Okay. And what about those? The mothers of bride has to spray water. You know that, right? Not only spray or draw out the fan, but also to spoil the water like that. And why is that? Can anybody think of the symbolic meaning of this? Why pour the water? You know, the mother here is pouring water. Yeah, because when you spray the water will just, you can never take them back. Okay, so she is warning or encouraging the daughter that if you get married, just don't come back home, okay? Yeah, you are married already. To come home together with your husband, but do not come home alone. And also this one. Yeah, the bridal veil shouldn't have a pocket, you don't want to take the fortune away. And this one is also necessary because on the day of marriage, the bride is the most important person. Okay, so you don't want to compete with the son because the son usually means the most important during the day, but the bride is the same, same important as the son. So they usually use umbrella or like this shield to cover the head. One elder should use the black umbrella or maybe like this to keep the bride from sunshine. And then festivals. Yeah, those are something about in Taiwan and what about in your country. Let's give you some example to start with, and then later I want to hear from your side. Okay, the first day of Chinese New Year, children clean the house because you don't want to sweep away the fortune. Okay, so when you are sweeping, then remember to put all the trash inside. Okay, don't just put them out. And then the married daughter can go back to their parents' house on the first day of the Chinese New Year. They usually come at the second day. Yeah. It means that second day is the good time for the bride's parts to get together with their family. 回娘家, going back to the bride's home. And then the boy is using the white stuff. Okay, just like what you have mentioned. Everything is all red. Yeah, during the Chinese New Year. No white. And during the ghost month, so many taboos, something you don't do at all, a lot of don'ts. You don't whistle, okay? You don't do construction. You don't move, okay? Don't move from one place to another. You don't go swimming. Of course, here usually referring to the ocean, okay? And then you don't buy cars. You don't have a long trip. And then you don't catch any dragonfly. I don't know why, but before they believe dragonfly, they have a special symbol. You don't catch them. Or you don't catch any other insects. And you can ask reasons why, but later we will share. So, any special festivals that bring you special taboos or traditions that you can share? Here is okay, so you will start. Yeah. Any customs or festival or taboos during certain festivals? Our ghost month is not a festival, but it's a special month that people have a lot of don'ts. What do they don't do? They don't have some taboo. What about the Easter? During the Easter, are there anything that you cannot do? Or anything that you do a lot?
Anything that we do.
Yeah. Easter, it's a festival, right? Or Christmas. No taboos on Christmas.
I think
And Halloween. No taboos. Okay.
during the Chinese New Year,
No power.
During Chinese New Year, we need to prepare some food, like prepare the some maybe prepare something, but like some food. And when my grandparents they prepare the foods, and we are not allowed to say some characters that like 落 or 酱 like this.
Okay, usually the positive characters.
Yeah, like do not speak randomly. Like when my mom said, like it's better do not speak anything around there.
Yeah, always speak good words. Yeah, during the Chinese New Year.
Yeah, like when I was young, I always ask like why we do this, why we do that, why there are so less, why there are so like shout. 为什么 why there are so less meat or something like that. My grandparents do not strict to us, so it's okay. But some kids will maybe get punished by this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Always something positive.
Yeah.
哇，今天好多肉啊
Yeah.
We have so many meat for tonight. So nice.
In Saint like first day, we avoiding the same negative word and no crying and we not allowed to wash our
Well,
hair
Yeah.
and then
Okay. Yeah.
Saint like
Say like that. Okay.
It's not exclusive to Belgium, but I actually don't know how many countries celebrate this. But on the 6th of December, we celebrate Saint Nicholas. So Saint Nicholas.
Yes.
And I know that French people don't celebrate it, but we do, and it's similar to Christmas. And he looks different than the Christmas man, but children get gifts and that's about it.
Okay. So maybe the face of the Santa Claus are different.
Like Saint Nicholas, he has like a hat, like a big hat,
Yes.
and he usually comes with a
Not the reindeer.
no, it's like not a horse, a donkey.
Oh, donkey.
So when he comes around, you have to like put carrots on your table so that you like give carrots to the donkey, to his donkey, but it's not very.
Okay. Something similar but a little bit different, including the animals as well as the appearance.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
The festival in Valencia that we have that is in March, and they build a huge monument, artistic monument. So you cannot talk about how much it costs the monument. That is called Valla. And you cannot talk about how much, and also you cannot touch, like, because they did it as well.
Okay.
One of the most popular and biggest festivals we have in Estonia is the Midsummer Festival.
Okay. Midsummer Festival.
Yeah, and we just light a lot of bonfires, we drink, we do barbecue, and usually people jump over the bonfires. And the biggest bonfire you jump over, the like more like
Even including the company, do they also celebrate this kind of everyone?
Yeah, we have like 3 days.
Okay. So nice. 3 days holiday in the midsummer time.出嫁的女儿 Okay. 闰月 You have many special words to say. Okay. So difficult to translate. 出嫁的女儿。出嫁的女儿。The daughter who just got married needs to bring the pork leg to the mother to the parents every 4 years. You know, how do we call that? 闰年还是闰月？闰年。How do we say that in English? Leap month. Do you understand this term? Leap. Leap. Okay, this is what she is saying. Let me do the translation. In the traditional believers, they think if we meet the leap year, okay, and the elders, they will have the last lifespan. They will they won't have long life. You know, when the leap year is not good for them, and therefore every 3 years there will be a leap month, and by that time the children need to bring the long life opportunity to their parents, and so the reason for them to do that is that during the leap month, this 1 month longer, you know, or 1 more month for the whole year. And therefore, this will be the good time that they should eat something very healthy to have a long life. Does it make sense? You know, every 3 years there will be 1 month that is called the leap month, and then in whole year we have 12 months, but especially on that year they have 13 months, and therefore the children need to use the lady who just get married. The girl who just get married needs to make good time of the months to bring something good to their parents so that they can have a longer life. And then something good means the 猪脚面线. This is 猪脚面线, the pork, and with the long life noodle, okay, together. So when the parents they eat this, then they have the long life. Especially they need to eat this during the leap months. So every 3 years, the lady who get married should do this, okay, to bring the long life to the parents. Yeah, sure. We don't go
No, for the film, for the international project.
Good luck. And then, do you agree? Yes. Got it. Okay. So this is called the 猪脚面线. Do you know we have the leap month this year? You know we have the leap month this year. Yeah. So we are going to have a very, very hot summer because there will be double June. Double June. Yeah. Well, but we have a long winter this year. Yes. Oh, that's on the lunar calendar, you know, and there are some days we don't have 30 days. In certain months, we only have 28. And therefore, every 3 years, some of the days they save will become a month. So every 3 years, then there will be 1 month that is the leap month. Yeah, some of the days they just have 28, so they don't have 30 days. So if you collect all the days together in the end of the year, maybe in 1 year you will have 10 days left. So every 3 years, yeah, you will have 1 month. Yeah, that is the lead calendar. You can check the calendar, okay? Tell you the reason. $365 days, and so every 4 years there will be one leap year, and we have 29th. Okay, February 29th. That is for the Southern calendar. And so according to that, the next leap year will be 2028. But for the 等一下，我要讲农历闰月。And then for the lunar calendar, you know, in average, we only have 354 days instead of 356 in a year. And so there will be 2 to 3 years. They will have one whole month, yeah, to make that. So every 3 years, there will be one leap month. And so in 19 years, they will have 7 leap months. And then in the leap months, they have 29 days instead of that. And so they count for you. This year, 2025, and then we will have the leap months on June. And then 4 years later, it will be in May. Okay. And after that is in March. So they will just tell you the reason and also the way to count. Where were we? Oh, we were talking about this one. Okay. And then let's come to the gift giving. Yeah, some of you mentioned the umbrella, right? Was not a good gift. But you know, let me tell you this way. I will finish quick, okay? Just give me more 10 minutes. We can finish this part. Okay. Did I mention this to you before? Yasan for Hakka people is not a, it's a very good and very important gift. Do you know why? Look at how many people in this temperature. 4 people. And then they all realize, and they all living in one shelter. That is the house. Right? So for Hakka people, umbrella is a precious gift. And so they made the oil paper, 有伞, yeah, 客家伞. And that's become a very important gift. But for Hakka, Fujian, and also most of the Taiwan people, yeah, they don't think it's a good gift at all. Okay, so for Hakka people, they make this kind of beautiful and colorful umbrella as a souvenir, and they become a very nice gift. And they do believe that if you give the gift of umbrella to somebody, you are going to give them a lot of blessings, because their family will become prosperous, more people in the family. So many people in one family is stunned. All right, so, but for Taiwanese people, you know, here it says Siamese dismiss, so we don't give umbrella as a gift. And not handkerchief either, okay, no handkerchief, because handkerchief is for you to swipe your tears. We don't want to make people cry. Okay, so you don't give so you don't give umbrella as the gift. And after that, what else? Scissors. We also don't give scissors as a gift. Yeah, it's not, but it's useful, right? For me, I think giving scissors is very useful vehicle. No, but yeah, because it's a cut, so it's not a good gift at all. And as well as shoes. Shoes sometimes is not a good gift. What is the reason? Okay, wait. You send to them, then they just say, "Oh, no, okay." They are sending somebody away. So don't give a shoe or don't give a shoes as a gift. Any taboos for your gift in your country? Malaysia? You can send anything as a gift. Maybe. And what about in the United States? No taboos. You can give anything as gift. Finally.
We would not give someone like this,
Scale.
like if you say like they need to move weight.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you don't want him always check the weight. I see. So don't give a scale as a gift. Interesting. You don't have no idea. Okay. Thank you guys.
Giving money is just because it's we shouldn't think about the gift that you
Oh,
give
okay.
someone. So just giving money seems respectful. Same thing, knowing the price of the gift is also not like looking up the price of the gift.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So giving money is also showing how much a person
Yeah,
is worth. So
right.
that's why money is not okay.
Yeah, but actually money is a good gift, right? But yeah, but it cannot show the value of your feeling. Yeah, that's true.
Most of the time gifts are opened like in front of people.
Yeah.
So if you get money, you have to
Yeah, it's
kind of show it
Uh-huh.
as well. So no one gives money.
I see. Okay.
Also, you said giving knife or scissors,
Mm-hmm.
and also second hand things. It's
So
also
second hand things is not good for
Yeah.
gift. Just a feeling that where it is in the room.
it's not feeling like it's better to
Give something new.
yeah.
I think for us, everything's fine.
Uh-huh.
And like secondhand, everything's fine. If it's like a close friend and you know they have secondhand, it's okay.
Yeah.
But you have to know them.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, yeah. But yeah, as the same for you, that you cannot show how much the gift was if it was not money.
That's
So, for
right.
example, you buy something, you cannot leave the price tag on.
Uh-huh. Usually, yeah, take out the tag. Thank you. Come on. Anything? No? No more? In Malaysia, no taboos for sending gifts. In Taiwan? Oh, white flowers is not a good gift. Ayaw ma? Orange. Oh, okay. 那个叫做什么？ Say something? 菊花。I always think this is a very hard word to pronounce. Chrysanthemum. 差不多对了。Chrysanthemum. Yeah, this is not a good flower as a gift because a lot of them will have this kind of flower during the funeral. Okay, that's the reason. All right, so talking about the funeral. Okay, the first one is very interesting. The elders. Elder passed away before breakfast. Why is that? Because it can leave left 3 meals for the future generation. And you will also notice a lot of the elders, they died during the midnight. It happens that way. And that is a blessing. Okay, so a lot of people think that when people die when they were sleeping, then it's a good blessing. And until right now, people still feel that. Yes.
Do you bury people, or do you also
Older people.
like do you leave bury people so in the ground?
Right now, unless you are very wealthy, then yeah, you don't have the money to buy a land to bury them. So right now they burn, to ashes, and you put all the ashes in the tower, and then it's saved in the temple. And so some of the tower, they have a lot of space, yeah, for those ashes. But the wealthy people, if they have a land, they still bury the body underground. And it's allowed. Like our indigenous people, they don't burn the bodies. Yeah, they bury them underground. So they will have a very serious ceremony, and the funeral, and make sure all the family members, they say something to the person who died, and then make sure there's no more stuff keeping your mind. You have to express everything through so that those person who died will live away safely with no worries. So I prefer the way they do it that way. Don't hide anything, good and bad, and just say it and then to the person who died. Okay. Thank you for having the question. And also bring some salt or rice in your pocket, And like Japanese people, they always use salt, to expel, the evils. Okay. And after the funeral, we better go somewhere crowded, like the movie theater. A lot of people, they go and watch the movies after they attend the funeral. And also white envelope will go, it's just not showing that how much money you have, but just usually 1100 is a good number for giving the family. So the white envelope is always like that kind of number. And you shouldn't do the haircuts or cutting nail, during the funeral. During the funeral means that during the whole week, that kind of time. Anybody else want to share anything to do with the funeral? No? Okay, and those are some do's and don'ts. I will share this with all of you. And then I just want to share one movie that I want to talk about indigenous wizard or witch.这个没有声音，这里。那我这边要关掉吗？没有，就这边。我是说我那里要关掉吗？因为那里有开。应该不会。可以先。这边看不到哎，是。那你要share这个。
网络创作用阅读看见创作的美丽，
独立创作一起深入原住民族的世界。
好，我是朱国珍。
然后我是石东山。
你出生是太巴朗汉民族人，
是。
你们现在部落里面还有巫师文化吗？
其实还有的，我们家族甚至有一位亲族长辈，他曾经就是一位巫师，只是我们今天比较少有机会来去接触这方面的一个文化。但是作为巫师，我们部落还是保有一定的巫师的文化。然后呢，我们花莲的吉安乡的里洛部落这几年有很多人在努力的保存和复振我们花莲族的传统巫师文化。
这个是你知道吗？今年适逢台东县的达人乡土坂部落5年祭的时间，这对台湾族来说是一个100年都未曾中断的很重要的祭典。也因此，在今天的节目里，我们就邀请观众朋友，大家好。
this is the person who interviewed the witch, and then she just write down all the contents and in this book, and to talk about why they still have this wizard or witch. And then those are
政权的更迭，他们在面对这些环境变化的时候，他们为了保存记忆文化背后所做的牺牲跟付出。
讲到台湾族的
也获得主灵神父灵的一个欺负。我对于萨满文化也会开始。那其实之前母亲也是一种巫文化或。
Okay, right now this lady she became the witch a few years ago, and before she became the witch, she kind of refused, and then she doesn't want to have that kind of names in her life. Because she thinks that she focused on her study, and right now she works in the government, and then she's happy with her life. However, all kinds of dreams, just came to her mind every day, and so she cannot have a very good sleeping, because the ancestors are telling her that you must accept yourself as a witch. And so she suffered, and then she also struggled for a very long time, until the time that she agrees, and then her auntie teach her how to become a witch. And right now she is the PhD candidate in Donghua University in Taitung, one of the tribe over there. They have maybe half of their students are all indigenous people. And then, therefore, they introduced some of the process. By the time, let me see. They talk about.
纵使你听不懂族语，但是你现场你可以感受到那个氛围，就是巫师他在唱的那个
下面都会这样。
祭歌，它让你觉得非常的悠远跟有一种哀愁，然后其实气氛是非常的。
She doesn't speak a tribal language. But when she was really in the status of being a witch, then she spoke very fluent tribal language. And either she can recall or call back the ancestors to give the lessons to the special family. And so right now the whole village relies on her very much. She was too tired because everybody wants her and wants to exercise. And so during the time they grow up, and during the time that somebody passed away, or during the time someone is sick, she needs to go there without any reason. Because when she said, "I'm tired, I don't want to do it," it is true in her dream. Then the boys will just urge her and push her to do it. Yeah, so she has all kinds of feelings all the time because her body is not her body, and it's a very hardship process for her because she gets all the feelings all the time, and those are very strong. And this is her auntie, because her mother was a witch before, and she doesn't want to pass this burden to her because she knew the hardship to be a witch, and therefore she encouraged her daughter to do something else, but she just couldn't, she just had to say yes, I will do that. And look at her, she is still very young, but she is a very famous witch in that region already. Yeah, this is the time she was making the special ceremony for the tribe. And then, when she wants to become a witch, she has to follow all the tradition and all the rituals in the tribe. And so she herself need to learn a lot of things because she has refused that all her life. So everything for her is new. But when she learned and she practiced it, and then the miracle always happens during the time. And then she always feel weakened after the ceremony, but people will let her know what happened during the past 20 hours. Yeah, so for her, everything is taught by someone, not taught by herself during the ceremony. And then even the time people want to make the recording, and then when they use their cell phone to do a recording, and then when they go back and they want to play the message, and it disappears. Okay, so everything is interesting, and yeah, you cannot say superstition, but it just happened, in their tribe. So it's not only in this discussion, but also in the book, and in many people's witness saying what happened. Okay, so that's why I think just want to share this part with all of you. Yeah, someone asked me about this the other day, so I think it will be interesting to share. And her name is Bao Hui, very normal Taiwanese name, but she has her own name, tribal names. Okay. So right now it's her life. She has been rich for 7 years. So very difficult in the very beginning. Until now, she feels okay to share. And then she wrote the book. And I read the book and I feel very touched now by knowing that something you can decide is really lucky. For her, she cannot decide. But when she accepts, then she just live with it and then agree to help a lot of people. Okay, so that will be about our class today. Any questions? No? All right. I hope the other people, they will come back. They are having another trip somewhere. Are you having a trip somewhere? You guys? I think so. Yeah, maybe they just because this is a distant meeting, but I still enjoy having you guys, here. And next week we will continue with the online with the Korean friends. Okay, on the other side. Yeah, next week we will have presentation and the topic. Remember the topic? I have it on.
可是下礼拜他们是 movie
Yeah, next week, the other side will be talking about the
movie.
They will talk about film and society, and then for our group, we will be talking about popular music. So yeah, be prepared. It should be interesting. Popular music. Pardon? All the group just introduce one popular music you know.
What's the next topic?
The next topic is about popular music. After that, festivals and seasonal customs. Festivals. So you will be talking about festivals. No? Oh, you did it the first week, right? Already. All right. So we have 2 more topics to go. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye-bye. Goodbye. Forgot to ask you to share. Bye.